streaming right now?
Is that what this is called?
I don't know. What are we doing?
Let
me see.
I don't know.
Let me Google it.
Look up streaming.
How do you spell that?
I think it's with a C.
C. Yeah, you're right. That's why I have you here. That is why I have you here.
Big time decisions.
Okay. Oh, we have a guest.
Hello.
We have a guest.
Hey, handsome.
Hello. Handsome, how are you?
We haven't played the. I'm gonna wait when Marco's ready. We gotta have Justin say, play the drop.
Go ahead. Let us know, Justin.
Justin.
We're waiting on your word. Yeah. We want you to say. Hold on. Don't do it yet. Justin.
Play the drop.
Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for joining this lovely 115th episode of the Bleedbigblue podcast. It still drives me crazy that we've gone over 100, and we've almost mastered the opening. So I'm proud of the progression. 115 of these bad boys.
115 years old. How about that, man?
That's amazing. Today, we'll go through the list on how you could. People complain they never know how to follow and do the whole thing, so I'll go through it. Right now, we're on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch. What else? Oh, Mixer and Mob Crush. Right there. What is that, 7?
And MySpace.
And MySpace, LinkedIn, and what else can we think of? Tinder.
Pornhub.
Grindr. We're on Grindr? That's why Tim couldn't make it.
That's what he's busy doing currently, yes.
Yeah, Tim told me about that.
He's busy.
He is.
There's a lot to go over, I guess.
We're right in the thick of things. I mean, there's fantasy drafts going off left and right. There's news coming in left and right. Zoolander's hanging up his heels. There's a lot to go over. What I don't understand, let's get that out of the way. Did he really have to make the announcement? Like, did anyone think that he was coming back or he was playing? Did he really have to announce his retirement?
My favorite question was, do you think you were not going to get booed for the treatment of Mr. Victor Cruz?
I know how you younger guys feel about Cruz. When you take a step back in the big picture, what I see about Victor Cruz was he was a really good player for a short period of time. He helped win a Super Bowl, tip of the cap, and then he got a little too worried about his brand, and he also took some jabs at God Almighty, Eli Manning. He took some jabs at the franchise. So I don't get all warm and fuzzy over it. Like, I saw somebody compare this to, like, a beat writer say it was like he took over the town like LT and Strahan. Like, LT and Strahan did it for a decade plus. Eli Manning has done it for a decade plus. Victor Cruz, in the big picture of things, the dance was nice. This is going to piss people off. He was a flash in the salsa plant. And that he was a good player, short period of time. It's a shame the injury happened, but it did. He was never the same after that, and it's a wrap. I don't know what the big announcement is. I don't know why it's a big deal. I don't know. Go ahead, go on with your love fest for Zoolander.
First of all, I'm upset at myself. I don't have a picture of Victor Cruz readily available.
So we don't have any Zoolander drops. I'm looking for his Bugatti or something.
Blue Magnet.
We are talking about
Blue Steel.
Quite possibly one of my favorite Giant players.
I know he's one of your favorites. I
all
know you got
time.
a soft spot for him, but you know I'm not going to hold my tongue.
Yeah, no, I'm not asking you to. We're talking about a guy who came out of nowhere, basically walked on to the Giants. Steve Smith bolted because they told him he was going to start in Philadelphia, left a huge hole in our team. Morale was low, and this guy lit a spark, which propelled us to a Super Bowl. That's the best story you could ever have.
It was a great story. It was a great story. It was nice. And then like 8 years have passed. Like I was a Cruz fan. I thought he was a good player. I don't. Now you look at the big picture of things, and I don't know.
Oh, Victor.
This is
Justin, speak some sense into him.
So this is what I'll say about Victor Cruz. For 3 seasons, when we needed a big play, Victor Cruz made it. I mean, I can go down the list. Week 3 against Philadelphia, his first season, taking that short out route from the slot all the way to the house, not knowing what dance to do, and then creating the salsa. I remember the Super Bowl year, so that catch against the Jets, which I think is his all-time moment. But the following week against the Cowboys, he had a very similar play on a crossing route in the first quarter, and he took it like 86 yards. The next year, against Bob Griffin III and company, he split a double team and went 80 yards with 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter when we're down 6.
What about the play against Dallas on the third down where he catches the short pass and he goes up the sideline? That was a big game.
Yeah. So
that was one of my favorite ones.
I think my favorite.
The chips were down and the Giants needed a play. It was Victor Cruz that always came up with the miracle. He was sprinkled with magic dust for a year and a half, 2 years, and then it all just came crashing down. And I can honestly say, when he hurt his knee against Philly, first of all, it was one of those injuries that you knew right away.
Yeah.
You knew as soon as it went down that it wasn't good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of my hardest moments as a Giants fan.
Yeah. No, I agree. We got a call. You wanna hit the phone lines up early or no?
Yeah. Let's get right to it. The guy's been on hold for a little bit. 347. Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Stuart from Queens.
What's up? How you doing?
Stuart?
What'd you say? Phil? You said Phil from Queens?
No, Stuart.
Stuart from Queens.
Stuart, I got it right. All right,
yeah.
Stuart, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? I'm actually a first-time caller, long-time listener.
Oh.
I enjoy the show a lot. Yeah.
Episode 1.
What's up?
You've been listening since episode 1.
I wouldn't say episode 1, but a long time. And I was actually on the video yesterday with Marco. He was playing Madden. It was.
Did he get his ass kicked? Was he playing? I got 2 questions.
Oh my God!
One, was he playing as Victor Cruz?
Yes, he was.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And he almost lost.
Here's my other question. How good was he playing against Jonathan Stewart by any chance? And did you see the actually good player from 2013, Jonathan Stewart, as opposed to what we have to see now?
No.
Actually, he was playing against MJD. MJD he wasn't looking like a meatball like he does now. So back in the day.
I remember that comment. That comment had me cracking up. That's why I played poorly. I was laughing throughout the whole video.
Yeah, man. But looking forward to the season, guys. You know. Yeah, I was actually a little bummed out today because I don't know if you guys heard about the Georgia Aloka pickup. I was kind of hoping that we would pick him up.
No, but I didn't hear. Where did he wind up going?
He went to Minnesota.
To Minnesota.
Oh. Yeah.
I think Minnesota
would have been
I think Minnesota has money.
Well, yeah, they do. That is the issue. I knew the finances were a little bit for us were a little bit tight, but I don't know. Me as a Giants fan, dreaming him and Landon back there, it would have shored up some things definitely.
Mhm. Yeah, no. Minnesota has cash to spend. I think James Mike went out. He
What's
can
that?
hear us. I think James Mike went out. Yeah.
James Mike?
Yeah, his mic is going out. I can hear it on my end, but you guys
okay.
can't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have our money tied up in, almost $6 million to Jonathan Stewart and a whole bunch of other players that are probably
dead money.
overpaid.
Dead money right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Justin, what was the what are you feeling about this game? You think starters are going to play a little, or you think it's going to be traditional?
It's so hard, right? Because I think that Eli could use the reps, but I still think that Odell Beckham and Saquon Barkley should be in bubble wrap. Right? So then the question is, how good are the reps for Eli if he doesn't have those two guys on the field? Right?
Mhm.
What's the point? So, I don't know. I still have nightmares about last preseason. I mean, Odell got hurt in the first half of the first preseason game because they were playing aggressive. They were trying to see things on the field, and it derailed our entire season because we got off on the wrong foot. So, I mean, I could see wanting to get those guys some reps, but I'm trying to control that environment as much as I can, and I'm not sending Odell Beckham down the field deep. I'm keeping everything
I agree about playing her.
And I'm telling him to get down if I play him. But me, myself, I'm probably saying keep those guys in bubble wrap, have them ready for Jacksonville, and make a loud noise there. Because they are getting valuable. They are getting valuable reps in practice.
Mhm. Plus, they played multiple practices with the Lions, so they got to see other competition. We know what we're getting from Eli. We know what we're getting from Odell. Saquon, we kind of have an idea. I wouldn't mind letting the stars sit. I don't care. It's preseason.
Yeah,
I don't even want more than 2 preseason games to begin with.
Yeah, 100% agreed. Like, there's no reason at all to risk anything at this point. They haven't played yet. Why do it? They're both way too valuable. There'd be other guys that I would really limit their play. Like, it's really not, like, I get that you want to get the reps in and you want guys to play into the third quarter and stuff like that, but when I look at the depth on the roster, guys, it's still a pretty big concern. And if the wrong injury happens to the wrong guy in a game that means nothing, it can have ramifications throughout the season. Do I think it's important that they get off to a good start? I do. I think it would be, helpful if you were in a position where you could play them. But I think the risk is too great, and I don't see the reason why you would do it. Saquon coming off the hamstring, Beckham just way too valuable. Jets, kids looking to make a name for themselves. You're going to put bullseyes on these guys' backs. I'll wait until Jacksonville. But that being said, I think they're both playing.
Can I add something else?
Sure. Shoot.
I also feel like the third preseason game is usually the one I kind of cringe on because not only because most of the teams are, this is kind of like their dress rehearsal, but also specifically for the Jets and Giants, like there's like they have like the Snoopy Bowl. So I mean, as much as you don't want to look into it, like they some guys take that serious, and that's just more of a reason for them to hit harder, drive the guy into the ground harder. So I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of us playing certain guys.
Yeah. Well, that was what I was going with before when I was. I agree with you 100%. I think that you have a target on certain guys' back.
Right.
It's going to amp up certain guys. Their eyes are going to light up if they see Beckham running on a post or coming across the middle, and they're going to try to light him up because they know it's going to get on SportsCenter and everybody's going to be talking about it. So I don't think there's a reason to put any of those guys at risk at all. I don't give a shit about the Snoopy Bowl at all.
Right.
The Jets can win it. You know, if we see what we need to see that's going to lead to them getting to the right 53 men on the roster, that's what these 4 games are about. That's what they've always been about. And I can care less if they go 1-3, 4-0, 0-4. I don't care. Just get through this healthy enough and competent enough and ready to compete in week 1 when it really matters. It's like getting fired up over spring training baseball. I don't get it. So I don't get it. Don't get it. Like there's fans that like they're baited, they are all over this shit and like about wins and losses, and I'm like, did you see what you needed to see from the players that are going to be in a position to actually be competing on the Sundays when it matters?
Right.
Because that's what you need to see. You need to see Curtis Riley in this game make some plays so that you're comfortable going in there. You'd like to see the right side of the offensive line progress to the point where they're not a fucking sift and they're just letting people run on through. You'd like to see the linebackers be able to cover somebody, give them a fucking quilt, knit a blanket, Schumer, if you have to on the sideline. But somebody cover somebody. So you want to see progression and get better from these guys who have been getting beat, guys who have maybe, not to say they've looked terrible. I think guys have looked good. I think when you look at Ogletree's film against the run, it looks completely different as opposed to the pass. Now, in the regular season, you can take Ogletree off the field on third down if he's not blitzing because you don't want to put him in that position where he's going to be covering. So when you're game planning, you would hope that Betches are using these guys to the best of their ability. As a linebacker, there's going to be times where Ogletree is going to have to cover somebody. But you can limit that as a defensive coordinator, and you can use him to the best of his ability. So I think you're seeing some things now that you may not see in the regular season. However, can we just get a little bit better? Just everybody just get better in this game. That's it. And don't get killed.
I think that you just need to look no further than the Lions game in terms of the difference that we saw.
They took a beating.
The difference that we saw in the offensive players, like a Davis Webb, like a Kyle Lauletta, like a Wayne Gallman, their ability to make plays. James is right.
You know what I took notice of in that
up
game more than anything?
Fashion and be able to make a play. We've kind of shown that we can defend the run. We've shown that we can blitz a little bit. We've shown that we can put some pressure on the passer, but there's still, specifically in the short middle of the field, there's some deficiencies. Now, the one thing that I have, hope about is that there appears to be some options. I'm not ready to call it depth yet because a lot of these linebackers really haven't proven that they can play on Sundays in the regular season. But there appears to be some options in terms of ways that you can manipulate that defense, ways that you can bring guys in, move guys around, to try and present some different looks and make some things happen.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that
Agreed.
they would have to believe that Betcher is enough of a gamesman, enough of a strategist that he's already thinking those things through, and maybe he's holding those things close to the vest. God, I sure hope so. But
you would hope so.
If there's one place after 2 preseason games that the Giants defense appears to be susceptible, it's the short middle of the field where tight ends,
it looks like tight ends and slot receivers are going to have a fucking blast this season. That's what it looks like. You know what I took notice watching that Lions game more than anything? More than any one thing, when I rewatched that game, do you know what I watched that really scared the shit out of me? How many fucking Lions were laying on the field hurt?
Yeah.
More than anything, that's what I took notice of. It was just like another one. And that is the stuff that really you have to put in perspective. If you get out of these games and the guys that are going to be on the 53 to start the season are healthy, you have done what you have needed to do in preseason. We have seen 0-4 teams do well. Let's move along. We got a caller coming in, 609.
Yeah.
Where you calling from? What's your name? What you want to talk about? Holla.
I'm Sam from New Jersey.
What's up,
Sam? What's up, buddy?
Sam.
Sam and Stuart. Stuart and Sam.
Stuart, we just got you on the background.
I just have
Go ahead, Sam. What's up?
I just have a really bad feeling that I want to bring up with you guys. I think Janoris Jenkins is in for a fucking terrible season. I don't know why.
You just got to feel it?
So,
that's a damper. Welcome,
during,
Sam.
I don't know. During the preseason, he just doesn't look great at all. And the whole shit with his brother and stuff.
I heard that.
Playing well.
I heard that. This guy, by the way, check this guy.
Captain Negative.
So, I read today that he looks really good in preseason. I'm sorry, not in preseason. In practices, he actually broke up a pass down the field the other day for Beckham. But I'm concerned because I saw what happened last year. There's a reason why the team that drafted him let him walk, and I'm concerned that you're right, that he is a little bit of a friggin' head case, and that we may have some problems with him. So I'm not 100% convinced we're going to come in and get all pro Jackrabbit. I think we may get a little insanity, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, when he got on the field during preseason, it looked like he shit himself. That route Jarvis Landry ran, one of the first plays in the preseason, was just awful.
Well, I also think that he's a veteran and he's protecting himself. Yeah, I think some of these guys are out there to get reps and try to get their wind, but they're going to protect themselves in preseason and not put themselves in harm's way. I don't think these guys are going 110% like they're going to be going against Jacksonville. So, that's a way to get hurt too, by the way. I mean, if you're going half-ass and you're, that's a way. But these guys protect themselves. They're not going to do that. 845. Another caller coming in hot. 845. Where you calling from? What's your name? What do you want to talk about?
I'm originally from upstate New York. My name's Patrick, but I'm living down here in North Carolina. I'm transplanted to Giants fan.
What's up, Patrick? How you doing, man? How's your night going?
It's going all right. I guess my major question is, my major concern is, at this point, I think it's just trying to fill out the depth chart. We still got question marks along the defense. Where are we going to get our pass rush from outside of Barwin and Vernon? We're hoping it's going to come from Carter, but we're really not sure. And I think in the secondary, we really need to figure out the depth chart as far as that goes. Supposedly today, listening to interviews, they say Webb has done okay in the nickel, but nothing sounds like it's really locked down. And we don't know about that other safety spot, who's going to take the starting role there either.
Well, it looks like they're favoring Curtis Riley for the other safety spot. They're giving him every opportunity. He's running with the ones. They're giving him every opportunity to take the job. They must like what they see there. And I think what that speaks to is he used to be a cornerback. So he's a little bit of a ball hawker. So I think in Betch's scheme, what you're going to see is potentially here's what I would like to see in certain situations. Michael Thomas come in at the strong safety hopefully Riley's playing well at the free safety, and you're able to move Landon Collins into the box and use him to cover some of these tight ends and guys that, are getting lined up sometimes on linebackers. So I'd like to see them use. I'd like to see them use the pieces that they have in certain situations. So if you're going to tell me that in a base set that Landon Collins is going to be in the box and you want a guy that's a ball hawk that has some speed that you like back there, Curtis Riley makes sense. And if he's out playing. I saw on Twitter some guy said, "Oh, this is bullshit. Adams is buried on the deck." Make a fucking play, like beat him out. And so far, nobody has stepped up. We said that in the beginning of training camp, guys are going to have to take jobs. Right now, Curtis Riley has done enough in their eyes to take the job, and it doesn't look like anyone's challenging him. So we'll see what happens and how that correlates and how we move that into the regular season. I think the big thing for this team is going to be Eli Apple, who is going to be targeted a lot, and the slot corner. And I've seen some stuff about Landon Johnson. I've seen some good stuff about Webb. And, of course, D Squared made another play the other day in practice, picking off a pass down the sideline. So he's back from the hamstring injury now. So now what you have going into these last two preseason games, thank God, is what you have is you have healthy competition. Healthy competition on both levels. The guys are healthy, so they're competing good. And having guys that can play and that want it and that have some talent competing against each other is a good thing. The more talent you have is the better. So hopefully Johnson, Webb, and Dante Dion, they can actually come through, make some plays in these last two games, solidify their spots on the roster, and then maybe you're not so concerned if teams are going to come out and spread us out because we got such a dominating front seven. So the more guys you have back there, the better. Let's hope that they can translate when we go from preseason and the bullets are really flying.
And remember now, we talked about it last week. We said, if you want information on the Giants' schemes and the way that they're going to do things, look at Minnesota's tape last year and look at Arizona's tape on defense from the last 2 years. You get a pretty good idea about what Bettcher's about if you watched any of Arizona's games in the past 2 years. And as a David Johnson fantasy owner for the past two seasons, I watched a lot of Arizona 4 o'clock when the Giants weren't playing. And what I saw on defense specifically, James Bettcher brings the heat now. This is not Steve Spagnuolo's, we're going to rush 4, get pressure with 4.
No, he's coming.
And hope we
he's
can
coming
play coverage
everywhere.
at the back end. James Bettcher's going to bring the heat. He's going to force his will on people. And he's going to mix and match people all around.
Yes.
There's a player that spent the last few years in Arizona. His name's Deion Buchanan.
Yep, bingo.
Started out as a safety, and by the middle of the year before last, he was their starting middle linebacker, who had been a safety up to that point.
Yep.
Undersized middle linebacker, became the middle linebacker because of his speed, his ability to play coverage, and his ability to blitz.
Yep.
Now, there's a player on our team that has that capability. His name is Landon Collins.
Yep,
You're going to see Landon Collins playing that Weapon X role. He's going to be all around. And that safety depth is what's going to allow him to be able to do that.
Yeah, and that's why I thought Michael Thomas playing well was so important, because it allows you to still have two safeties back there that are competent enough that both fit the role. Michael Thomas as strong safety, and Riley as the free safety, where you can use him in that position. And I think that in the NFL today, when you look at what these offenses are doing and how they're moving people all around and spreading them out and how it's very wide open, I think that it helps to have a defensive coordinator that is willing to he's going to go in prepared. He's going to know what that offense is going to do, and he's going to use the players on his roster that best match up in those situations. And it's not going to be based on, you can see one guy getting a ton of snaps one week because he fits the game plan and then disappearing the next week. And I think Betcha has a great way of keeping his guys engaged in that role where he's finding and using guys to their strengths, where even if it's a small role, it's a role, and you're involved. And it, we see great effort from that Arizona defense over the last couple of years. If it wasn't for some shoddy quarterback play, they would have been in the playoffs and competing a couple of times. So, I'm excited to see what he can do. I just hope that some of these young guys, because what I'm concerned about is if we're wrong about the three guys that are going to be playing corner and Apple is shit, then what you've done is you put yourself in a position to where you're going to be blitzing and those guys are by themselves, and that is dangerous. We got another caller coming in. 315, where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Hey, this is Dylan, call from upstate New York.
What's up, Dylan?
Just wanted to talk about the linebackers we have. At least in my opinion, I think it's one of maybe the most talented linebacking corps we've had, probably in recent years. Yep. Now, the way that Alec Ogletree's performed coverage-wise, there's a couple big plays he gave up. Should that be maybe a concern? I mean, I know it's only preseason, but I mean, that's, two big plays, which one of them was to Njoku, the first preseason game. And I know the Giants have struggled against tight ends, especially last year, the year before. So I'm just wondering, if that's definitely kind of like an eye-opener of concern seeing that this early, just in preseason.
No, you're 100%. I think it is. I think that anytime that you see a team willing to give up a player with the name of like an Ogletree or something like that, in most circumstances, all right, those players are good players, but there's a reason why those teams are getting rid of them. There's a reason why those teams have not said, okay, it's in our best interest to keep you around. And one of the reasons was they saw Ogletree in the playoffs get a little, had trouble covering some guys. He's had a history of having the trouble cover some guys. Now, what is Ogletree, right? So Ogletree is a sideline-to-sideline linebacker. He's a blitzer. He's going to play the run really well. He's going to get in the backfield for you. He has great anticipation. He's just not very good in coverage. So what does that mean? You have Betcha playing. Betcha is a guy that is going to use the players to the best of their ability. Now, there are going to be times where the offense is going to be able to put some things in motion to be able to get Ogletree in a situation where he has to cover. Yes. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every play they're going to be able to protect Ogletree like that. They're not. But for the most part, if they can give Ogletree the assignment of attacker, where he's not the one covering, and then if you have other pieces like a Ray Armstrong, like certain linebackers that you can have in with Ogletree that can cover, now you can disguise some things and you can help them out. If you have some extra safety help, you can help them out. There's things you can do. So it's really going to be dependent. Ogletree's a good talent, but I think that if the whole roster is playing well, if the defense as a whole is playing well, you can take Ogletree getting beat on a play. Maybe somebody else steps up and a little help and steps up and breaks up a pass. I think that the whole defense needs to step up and make some plays there to help out certain guys that are going to be – you're going to need safety help to protect Eli Apple. Eli Apple is a problem in the NFL. And I think that they're susceptible to getting thrown on all day. You're going to need safety help over there. If the safety doesn't play well that you're throwing over there, guys, c'est la vie. So there's question marks all over the roster. Ogletree covering is definitely one of them. Definitely one of them.
Yeah.
The linebacker. Go ahead.
Cover. I was just going to say, I think, like you brought up earlier, Ray Armstrong, I know he played with the Giants last year, and he was a starter for San Francisco before he joined us. But I think his performance, just seeing how he's been playing, definitely that was pretty nice to see how he's been playing, and almost makes me wonder if he could sneak up the depth chart and even possibly get some starting roles in the defense.
Well, I think that I think you're going to see a lot of, when you say starting role, I don't even really think that there is such a thing anymore. Like, we see the starters come, and they come up on the screen, and it's always the base formations. But let me tell you something. Okay, what if you have Kareem Martin in your base formation and they come out with 4 wide receivers on first down? Are you sending Kareem Martin on the field? No. You're going to have your nickel package on the field. You're going to go to it. The NFL right now is matchups. That's what it is. It is matchups, and you can throw that starter stuff out the window. I think there's a huge place on this team for a guy like Ray Armstrong, because the NFL is very pass happy, and you need guys that can cover. The more guys you have that can cover, the better. Because even if you can get to the quarterback, if you're going to blitz and you're going to send all these guys, you have all the talent in the world. If you put the quarterback in the shotgun and you're going against a Tom Brady, or you're going against a Drew Brees, or you're going against a Aaron Rodgers, they will pick you to shreds if you can't cover.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely true.
And remember
Justin,
now,
what do you think?
Remember now, when you're talking about safeties and linebackers and coverage skills, the whole bit, I think there's a point to be made in what's happening in college football, right, in terms of defenses. The spread system in college football is forcing defenses to bring in speed at linebacker for coverage's sake. And so you see a lot of guys that were previously safeties in prior generations that are now linebackers. And so I think what I like from what I've seen from when I've studied Betcher's scheme is that he's not afraid to explore the talent of his players and put them in positions where their unique skill is able to be utilized. That's why
100%.
a Landon Collins is so important to a scheme like this, because he can do it all. He can do it all. But Betcher doesn't care if you're a safety that can blitz, or you're a linebacker that can cover, or if you're a safety that can cover, or if you're a safety that can play a little bit of slot corner. He's going to find different ways for each of his players to contribute, and that's why this depth is important. You know, a lot of people looked at something like the Connor Barwin signing and they said, what is this for? You know, aside from the only thing that he can do is pass rush. But having someone like a Connor Barwin who is able to pass rush essentially on command and be a leader of the defense allows those other players to move around the formation and do some different things. It's all about sub-packages in the NFL and being able to confuse offenses with what your scheme is trying to accomplish. And so Betcher's filled his defense with versatile guys that are going to be able to move around these formations and really create some havoc. At least that's what I see when I look at the different talent on the defense.
I have a bunch of questions from Instagram.
Oh wow!
You want to run through them?
Did you get my question?
Yeah, there seems to be a few good ones.
Oh, good. Let's go. Let's for a rough shot.
From Brad Walsh, 21. Did the offensive line really improve, or did we find a Band-Aid fix?
You signed a band. You know where I'm going to go with this. We'll get Justin on it too. I think they were Band-Aids. I think they were Band-Aids. I don't think that they're long-term fixes at all. I think the right side is a problem, and I don't think Solder is as good. I said it at the beginning of training camp, and it hasn't changed for me at all. The only offensive lineman that I have any confidence in is the rookie, Hernandez. Other than that, I have concerns. So, Justin.
Well, I think that you look at the way that teams are building offensive lines now, the teams with the best offensive lines are building them through the draft. We've added one player of note through the draft, and that's Will Hernandez.
Yeah.
The other player that we tried to add, Eric Flowers, he hasn't been a bust. I'm not ready to call him that. I mean, if you look at
abysmal. Don't call him a bust. Go abysmal.
What'd you say?
I said we won't call him a bust. We'll just call him abysmal.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played up to his draft slot or draft value. That being said, I don't think that he's as bad as people want to make him out to be. I think that there is a little bit of a scapegoat sort of mentality there when it comes to him. But he needs to play a little bit better, and he needs to play with a little bit of passion.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one up is, who do you think the most improved player this year will be?
Ooh, good question. Go ahead, Justin. What do you think?
Most improved player. I'm going to go with Eli Apple. I think that.
Ooh, okay.
I think that, this is his chance to prove what he can do and prove that his issues last year were connected to a disconnect with the coaching staff in terms of strategy and player relations. So I think Eli Apple's going to take a huge step up this year. He's going to need to, and I think that he has the toughness to make that happen.
I'm going to stay on defense, and I'm going to go to a guy. I don't know if it's really be most improved because I think he's been okay. But if this defense is going to be what we need this defense to be, and you've seen flashes during preseason, Olivier Vernon needs to get 16 sacks this season. And
100%.
I am all about Olivier Vernon needing to step up and be a playmaker on this defense, being a tone setter. I was a fan of him coming in to the Giants. And again, we just said it. If a player is released in the free agency, those players have their deficiencies. And I remember watching him in Miami, and whenever I watched him, I always thought, wow, man, he plays violent. He plays mean. And that's why I wanted him here. I want that guy. Go get me that guy. Now, I haven't seen him since he came over here. Now, has he been banged up? Yes. Hopefully he's healthy. He looks great so far. Mm-hmm. But again, it's preseason. I want to see it translate. But go get me 16 sacks this year. I think Olivier Vernon is huge, and I hope he's most improved.
All right. From Show Me the J Money, how come Captain Negative is the only one with a nickname?
I'm the only one that's earned it.
Justin, your response to that?
Fair enough. I'm just, inquiring.
You guys get. You know what kills me about this Captain Negative thing? You guys did it.
Yes,
it's not like I was like I'm Captain Negative now. Like you guys nicknamed you came up with the brand.
All right, we got a lot of people chiming in on most improved. We got a few Eli Apples. We got an Evan Ingram.
What is most improved? Oh, most people chiming in. Okay, go ahead. I thought it was like a site that we're streaming on. I was like, what is that?
What is this? This guy's with his nonsense. We got a few Kerry Wynn.
The internet.
All over.
Kerry Wynn.
Owning.
All right, Kerry Wynn. That's a good one.
And a few Cody Lattimire's. All right, let's jump in the.
All right. All right. I'd like to see that. Some good names there.
When will the coach realize Gallman should be our number 2 back?
Gallman is the
hopefully soon. Yeah, if that's and that's a great question or a great topic just to bring up for a couple of seconds because if that's the case, Justin, right? It is, and here's the bitch of it is you can't even cut Stewart and think that you're getting. If you cut Stewart, you only get $600,000 worth of cap relief. So They're not cutting Stewart. No, there's no way they're cutting Stewart, which means that if you like, what is he on? I'm concerned. I don't know. Are they going to try to if he's taking snaps away from Barkley or Gallman? Like unless they're dead, unless they can't walk, like I don't know why Stewart would ever be on the field.
Yeah,
I just don't see a reason for it. If it's goal line, it better be Barkley. You took him number 2. If you're spelling it or a third down, or you're going to have Barkley in the game because you're bringing him out to the side, or you're going to put him in the slot, then Goldman better be in the fucking backfield. Like I don't see any way that unless they're dead or they can't play, that he's going to be in the game. So you're paying $4 million for a guy just to fucking stand there and be emotional support for the guy that was touched by a hand of God? It makes no sense.
Well, first of all, I want to say a few things. I think that, you look at someone like a Jonathan Stewart and you realize that in previous seasons, he's been a part of a Mike Shula offense in Carolina. You have a rookie running back touched by the hand of God. He's still a rookie. And you have Wayne Gallman, who's playing in a new system and is only in his second year. So I think Stewart was brought in just as much to be a leader for those guys in the running back room as he is going to play on the field. And the second thing that you have to remind yourself
I have a question.
We're not playing Madden now where we can turn injuries off.
No, very true. But here's the thing: even if we couldn't, like, would you rather have 2 questions? One, would you rather have, let's say, right? Considering this, Justin, yards per carry last 3 or 4 years, Jonathan Stewart declined. Fumbles last year, unlimited carries, right up there at the top of the league. Serves absolutely no purpose besides potentially being a blocker in the passing game. So, would you rather, God forbid,
he missed a block in the preseason. So let's
God forbid,
a great blocker.
Yes, right. So God forbid, right, that something was to happen to Barkley or Gallman. Would you rather see Jonathan Stewart getting touches or Rob Martin?
Give me the young guns. That's my answer.
Right? Especially at the running back position.
I think it depends on. I think it depends on where you are, honestly.
So I just don't think Jonathan Stewart can play anymore. Like that's my thing. It's like I think he's it's not a referendum on his career. I think that he was a good back when he was younger, but a lot of these it's not. It's common knowledge. A lot of these running backs get to a certain age and they just decline, and he's continuously declined over the course of the last 3 to 4 years. Here's the other question I have for you, Justin. Why $4 million? Like, was there a line of people waiting to sign Jonathan Stewart? Are you telling me that you couldn't have got him on a $1.5, $2 million deal? I just have a problem with the whole contract, considering the value that he has.
What's the guaranteed money?
I don't know, man. If you cut him, he's he's very close to $4 million against the cap. $4 million. They got $12 million, dude. $12 million signed up between Barkley and Jonathan Stewart. $12 million invested at the running back position. You want to make yourself nauseous? With a team that has a lot of talent, that if you took some of that money, you can get the pieces in place where now you seriously have a team that can contend. Man, oh man.
Yeah. No, I don't know what they're doing with that. That's a cluster. That's a big fail on that one.
$12 million as a running back. That's you're paying for the 2 guys. You're paying a Le'Veon Bell price tag.
It would be different if he came in and he was showed some legs and showed some that he still had it.
The only other thing that I can think is that when they move Barkley around the formation, right? He's gonna be in the slot. They're gonna swing him out wide. They're gonna move him all around now. When he's in different spots of the formation, where's Jonathan Stewart? If Jonathan Stewart is able to take that back spot,
I would say sideline too. I would have Gallman.
From what I've seen of Gallman,
he's just beating him out.
From what I've seen of, if you're watching the now certain things you can see in preseason, and if you watch those two guys play, and you come away thinking, wow, yeah, I would love for Stewart to take some touches away from Gallman, I would have to sit with you, and you would have to show me what you're watching if you would want him in the game.
Yeah, I want Stewart and Martin. I want Simmons and Martin to take it away from Stewart.
But there's no way that's going to happen because of the fact that Stewart is making way too much money. So Stewart is locked in on this route. Like, if I'm a Giants, I would much rather them fucking get rid of Stewart and keep the 4 kids. Keep the 4 kids. Running back is a tough position. Keep Martin. Keep Simons. Keep Simons. Keep these kids.
I'm not. Listen,
with Jonathan Stewart.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with anything that you're saying. What I'm saying is,
I know.
When is the last time that you saw us make it through any season with 2 running backs?
True.
We've always needed 3, and if you couple in the fact that I think running back usage rate, to borrow a term from the NBA, is going to be higher for the Giants than it's been in the recent past, you're going to need depth there. So I think they keep 4 running backs on this team. I think you see them.
Well, I think they keep 4 too, but I think the 4 should be Barkley, Gallman, Martin, and Simons.
And Simmons, right, or whatever. Yeah,
or
I
Simmons,
agree.
Whatever the fucking name.
All right, let's go to the next one. Trifecta 24. When will then be now? I'm always going to say soon. I'm pretty sure Justin would agree.
Yeah.
From Liam Hicknibig, something like that?
John Obama.
Is our receiving core good enough to win a championship?
The receiving core, yes. Because I would say everyone is involved in that. I would say you're saying all the toys. Beckham, Sharp, Sterling Shepard, Ingram,
Latimer,
Barkley, Gallman, Latimer.
Lewis.
I would say you're throwing all those toys in,
Barkley.
and if you're telling the running back, Barkley, Gallman, anyone who can catch a pass. Yeah, I think there's plenty of talent there to win you a Super Bowl. Yes, I do. I don't know if the other pieces on the roster, the other roster parts are Super Bowl worthy, but I think the receivers are.
Yeah, I would agree.
Listen, and
I'm not worried about.
I just want to say, when you're in the red zone, the Giants have a lot of options now in the red zone. Think about Odell, Sterling Shepard on the outside. You got Barkley, who's going to be a nightmare in there for opposing defenses. You have Gallman, who's proven that he's got a nose for the end zone in the preseason. And you have Ingram and Ellison as 2 tight ends. I'm telling you right now.
And Jarrell Adams has made a couple of catches too. He's another big target.
That Rhett Ellison is going to catch multiple red zone touchdowns this season.
Wow.
Multiple red zone touchdowns this season.
They better be. Here's my thing. You better be able to run the ball in the red zone. Like the Vikings, if you want to talk about last year with the Vikings and all that stuff, they ran the ball in the red zone. And they even did it after they lost Dalvin Cook. So they consistently ran the ball in the red zone. And I think that the Giants need to do that. I think that when you get into the red zone, if Barkley is what they drafted him to be, then you cannot be afraid to use him in any way, shape, or form. And he needs to be fed. And that's the other thing is like with Stewart, and that's why I said if they can't walk, there's only so many carries to go around. And Barkley better be in the game all the fucking time. And if he needs a breather, it's Gallman, and then Gallman, go sit the fuck down. Because he's touched by the hand of God. So get him in the fucking game if he can breathe. So I don't see any carries for a lot of other people besides Barkley and Gallman. I think you're looking at probably 20-plus for Barkley. I'll tell you this much. I'm going to tell you this much. I am going to be fucking pissed. I will be furious if they are going to come in here and give Barkley 12 to 15 carries a game and Gallman 8 carries a game and Jonathan Stewart 5 to 8 carries a game. I will be fucking livid. And if they're using 3 running backs, if you're taking carries away from Barkley with any of the other 2 guys, I got a problem. But if you're going to take them away with the guy with talent.
No, I think, listen, I agree with all the things on the depth chart in terms of the running back depth that you're saying. What I think is sort of the X factor in this whole thing is that having a running back like Barkley with his skill set allows you to have another running back on the field.
Yes.
So, 2 running backs wasn't enough when we were playing 1 running back at a time. I mean, for as great as Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw were together, they were never on the field together. But you're going to see other running backs on the field at the same time as Saquon Barkley. You can mark it down. So,
I want it to be Coleman.
Because of the nature of the NFL today and the possibility of injury, we're going to need 4 running backs.
Mhm. Oh boy, yeah, but I'm in totally agreement with you. But 4 running backs, I don't think Jonathan Stewart should be included in it.
And he's going to be. And if they're gonna, I hope they don't shove him down our throats like that. I will be fucking livid because I don't think he's any good. I just don't think he's any good. I'm sorry, Jonathan Stewart, if you're listening, call on in. But I just
give me the number.
It is 516-453-9383. Jonathan.
You guys want to do a little giveaway? I promised that it would be a giveaway, a little something.
Yeah, I'll take some. What are you sending me?
Oh, you. Let me see if I have.
Oh, yeah, I'll take one.
All right, here we go. All right, so I got to pick up right now. The lovely fellows and ladies and gentlemen at Carhartt is hooking us up with New York Giants apparel that they're putting out now.
That's right.
So you can see a pickup there now.
Actually, I went and I looked at it, and the Giant hats are you. So you have Giant hats, huh?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
They sent it. They mailed it to the house. I have a few. I have a few to give away.
Yo, they are. Justin, did you see them?
I did see them.
They are hot, right?
They are. Yeah. They are stylish.
They are stylish. The Carhartt Giant hats are tight.
I have the classic, Marco. Sure.
I was thinking, are we doing a fantasy football league this year?
Mhm. Yeah, we are. I got to get on that, but yeah, we are.
Do we save one of the Carhartt hats for the fantasy football league champion?
We can.
Oh, that's a great incentive.
The winner gets a Carhartt New York Giants hat.
My man. Mhm. I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
I have a few. I have it in black. I have that classic Carhartt, the construction worker type jacket.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that everyone likes, actually.
I didn't see the other colors. I saw the classic ones. And those shits were hot. Faja.
Should we give one away today? I don't know. Maybe we'll do it next show. Now that people got to look at it,
we got to
build up.
I think we got to advertise it a little bit more.
Nicholas Rival, can I join the fantasy? And yes, if how? And what does he say? Oh, can I join the fantasy team? And if yes, how? Yeah, you want in? Sure. Just
Yeah, we need. How many do we need?
I think we have a solid.
How many we have? Like, we have 10 or 12.
We have Justin. We have me. We have Todd. We have Marco. We have
Tim.
What's his name? Tim. He's at camp tonight.
Tim is at camp. Yeah.
Annette. Annette's gonna be in. We know we have Annette. So that's 6. We need 4 more. This dude. I'm gonna write. What's his name? I don't even know. I'm gonna write this dude.
This dude. Nicholas.
This dude. This dude, Nicholas. Nick.
I'd like to see Ned in there.
Yeah,
Nick,
I'd
Ned.
like to see Ned in there.
Well,
Ned,
you got to claim a spot.
I gotta see.
Ned,
I gotta look who's in
I'm
it.
disappointed you haven't called in.
I gotta.
So we need to. Well, we got to get on that because then we need to plan a draft.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the guy Dean, who was in it also, right? Wasn't he in it?
Who?
Dean.
Remember Dean? Where did Dean go?
No
Dean Mayer.
No clue. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Nick locked in. So that's 1. We got 6. We need 4 more.
You're locking Nick in. Last year we had people write in poems and we did it too late.
Oh well, then let's not.
Yeah,
then screw Nick. Then screw Nick. We gotta make them do something then.
Right, exactly. I feel like we got to set a deadline.
All right, Nick, you're out. You got to earn your spot.
We got to set a deadline for applications.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it better be soon.
And you gotta
put on the.
Get something good.
Yeah, put on. Let's go. I guess we'll post something saying, "Hey, we need if you want to be in our fantasy league, let us know why you should be in the fantasy league.
Right.
Send us a picture of your pet and your giant gear.
You can,
right? Something like that.
You can tweet us. You can send us a video. We keep them PG rated. We don't want to see anything that we shouldn't see.
It also depends on who's sending the video.
Right. Wow. I'm assuming that we're gonna.
Yeah, it could be different ratings depending on who's sending it. So here's what you do. If you're gonna send a video, you send a picture before the video, so that we'll know if we want to watch the video. You send your picture with the rating of the video, and then if it's like an R or an X or something like that you're sending, then we'll judge based off of your picture if we want to entertain ourselves by watching the video.
If we want to view it.
I like that idea, right? That's like a scientific method behind filtering out the videos. Now, don't catfish us because then we'll track you. We'll invite you into the league, and then when we get your email address, instead of having you in the league, we'll then kick you out, track you down by your email address, and kill you.
Whoa, strong words.
I'm gonna say we'll take your email
strong words.
And sign you up for Grindr, but.
Listen, last time
I'm a cancer. I'm a cancer. I can't kill anybody. You kidding me? I would cry. Oh, go.
That's the thing about Captain Nuggets that nobody does.
Justin,
I'm a big softy.
He's a
Justin,
big softy.
Before you came into the rotation out of the bullpen, we did a little photo contest, and the submissions.
Oh, we're classic. We're epic.
we're amazing.
Yes. Is that a man?
Yeah.
That's a man, Marco. You got to see the conversation. If we can go back and get those conversations. You think that's a man? I think that may be a man.
I don't know. Is that currently a man or is that formerly a man?
I don't know. We'll send a reply.
All right, Nicholas. Just because you asked, we're not gonna jump you around because I'm sure we're gonna get a bunch of submissions, but we'll put him in just because he's talking shit in the saying careful, he's not half bad. He'll earn it anyway. So I think he's gonna bring it. I want people that are active, unlike myself.
So Nick is confident. He's a confident Nick.
Nick is confident.
All right. So let's pencil. You know what? The kid's got balls. You know what, Nick? Don't take no shit from anybody. Nice job. I like that. Fuck us. There you go. Good. You're in. It's the right
Nick,
attitude.
If you're on Twitter, message me. This way, then I'm sure that you're in, okay?
There you go, buddy. Are you on Twitter, Nick?
And if
At
you're
Nick.
not on Twitter, Nick, if you're not on
You're
Twitter, create a Twitter and message Marco.
Follow every single person, and we'll get it. Oh, did he just? Oh, that other guy probably definitely wants to be in.
Who?
The one that keeps on going at you. What is his name? Christian?
Chris.
Oh.
Yeah.
And after last week's show, he started messaging me. It's all within good thing. I was like, I don't think he's taking it to heart, my friend.
No, I don't take any of that to heart. God damn it.
Something that I want to stress to the listeners: we don't take a lot serious.
No,
on this show.
It's football. It's not life or death. I mean, we're talking football here.
We argue and bicker. It's because we spend a lot more time with each other on social media than any of you realize. We're like a family.
It's like arguing with your brother.
So anything that you think is taken the wrong way, just assume that we're just busting each other's balls. That's what we do.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, take all this stuff with a grain of salt. I mean, we're just busting balls. I mean,
we're trying
it's
to
all
make
in good
money.
fun. It's like a big fantasy
Trying to
league.
create a show that's entertaining.
You're absolutely correct.
And it is entertaining.
I have a fantasy football question.
Shoot. How about the Jedi mind trick advice that I gave you the other day?
What's that? Oh,
Yep.
You long clip.
entertained?
You did
I like that
one.
clip.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
said,
Justin.
my man, I'll message you now. All right. Looking
All
forward.
right, Nick. Nick is in.
All right, so my question. I'm in a league. This is the league I told you about. So I'm keeping Deshaun Watson in the 14th round. I'm keeping Jerick McKinnon in the 10th. Or no, Jerick McKinnon in the 9th and Juju Smith-Schuster in the 10th.
Who in the 10th?
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Ooh, I like that. You're getting a nice little start to your team all late.
Absolutely. So I have the 6th pick. So I'm thinking at the 6th pick between players that are kept and players that are available. My choice is going to come down to Mike Evans, Devonta Freeman, or maybe Leonard Fournette. But I'm thinking it's probably going to be Evans or Freeman. I think Fournette's going to go in the first 5. So
I don't like any of those players.
I mean, I'm leaning towards Evans there at 6 because I think Freeman is starting to regress.
What kind of league is this?
I don't know.
Why is everybody off the board already? Are you telling me? Because none of those guys are even close to my. Are you telling me that in this league that I'll go through my top 6? Got Bell, Gurley, DJ, Ewok, AB.
All off the board.
Wow.
All off the board.
I would hate being in that league.
So we do a live draft. There's 12 of us. We do a live draft, and this year we have a few guys that moved out of state, so they're not going to be able to make it. So the commissioner created a draft board on this website called Clicky Draft, where you can import your keepers and your draft order, and it essentially makes a draft board with all the colors and stuff. And you can, project it on a TV, and it's interactive. It stays up with the picks as they come along. They use, Draft Pros rankings of the players available.
What is this site that you use? What is this site? What is this thing?
It's called ClickyDraft.com. I'll send you the link.
Thank you. Yes, do that.
But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, according to their rankings for a PPR league, the best player available, according to their ratings, the best two players available are Saquon and OBJ.
Do you have access to their top 10 right now?
Yes.
What is their top? Give me their top 10 that's available right now going into your draft.
Players or overall?
I don't want to know who's kept. You're telling me you picked 6, and I'm going to try to give you two guys between 6 and maybe there that are available that you're going to be able to draft.
Let me pull it up. Vamp a little bit. I'll pull it up.
All right. I love this shit, Marco. I love fantasy football season.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Nick just followed. Hold on.
All right, Nick.
We got you down. I think we did 14 teams last year.
No, we did 10. I still got it. I downloaded my Yahoo app, and I got Bingo Bango. I'm still sitting there. Tim's camp counselor. I'm waiting for you to send me the invite.
All right, I got to go into my thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Wait, we didn't talk about this. Is this breaking news? When was this reported?
What? What happened? Uh-oh.
I don't know how breaking news this is. It was reported about 2 hours ago. But DRC officially to Oakland.
Oh, good for him. Now we don't have to fucking hear his name anymore. Good.
Did anyone see that coach from Cleveland who every time he sets hut his stomach he's a big dude?
I did see that. I love Hard Knocks. Big fan of that show. Yes, I thought that was absolutely hilarious that they were showing hot. It was so funny.
That guy is not in good shape. Jeez.
Oh man.
All right.
Here we go.
Go.
All right. So according to their website, and they use rankings are courtesy of Fantasy Pros. All right.
All right.
According to Fantasy Pros, these are the top. You said you wanted the top 10?
I want you. You're going to pick 6, so that means you got pick 6, and what's that? How many teams?
It's a 12-team league. But coming back now, I'm going to pick pretty quickly thereafter because a lot of guys are keeping either late first-round guys or second-round guys. So I pick pretty quickly. I have 6 and 11.
All right. Give me the top 12 guys on the board.
All right. This is in order according to their website, starting with the highest rank.
Love it.
Number 1, Saquon Barkley.
Hold on.
Ooh, look at that.
Now. Go ahead.
which they have
Beckham.
parenthetically. He is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's the eighth. He's the eighth overall player, Saquon Barkley.
So the top 7 are gone. Wow.
Correct.
Beckham, you said?
Beckham is
was
next.
next. All right.
Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, Julio Jones, Keenan Allen. God, that injury history scares me, though. A.J. Green, Devonta Freeman, Gronk, Christian McCaffrey, and Mike Evans.
Give me the next 3.
Joe Mixon,
Huh.
T.Y. Hilton,
Go ahead.
and Doug Baldwin.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. There's no way, if you can get your hands on Mixon on that second pick, you take Mixon. There's 3 players here that I would consider at 6. Now, if Julio drops to you, Julio, of course, you take.
Correct.
If Melvin Gordon drops to you, you take them. So there's certain players here that I'm just going to leave off, because if you're at 6, I'm going to leave off 1, 2, Barkley, Beckham, Gordon, Julio, and Keenan Allen, Fournette. I think those guys will probably be gone in this scenario. I think you're looking at maybe from Keenan Allen down. If that's the case, I do have injury concerns about Keenan Allen as well. These are the guys I'm looking at. I want McCaffrey, and I want Mixon.
So you go double running back.
I would. Out of those guys?
And
yeah.
And see, I think that could be available to me.
And here's the thing is I also think that you'd have to go McCaffrey before if you're telling me that I would take Mixon before McCaffrey. But I think in this scenario that there's a better chance that you take I think you'll get McCaffrey at 6 without a doubt, and I think there's a better chance that you get Mixon on the flip side than you get McCaffrey on the flip side, if that makes sense.
Correct. And then just fill my roster with
there's a ton of receivers late, my friend.
Receivers late.
There's guys like Cameron Meredith and Josh Dotson and John Brown and who's the other guy I'm thinking of? Ryan Anderson with the Jets. There's a million wide receivers late that you can grab onto. I've done a bunch of mocks, and the wide receivers late are plentiful.
I like another wide receiver that I like late is that kid Cole from Jacksonville.
Interesting.
Very
Not
late
really.
now.
Yeah.
Like, all I know is second half of last year he was like, I think, 10th in yardage over the last 8 games.
There's a couple of guys that I like really late. I think one guy that you should target for another running back late. I love James White this year. The guy always makes plays in that offense. They're always going to be throwing the ball. He's always going to get touches no matter what the game plan is. I think James White's a steal because to me, it's not about the guy. It's about where you're drafting him. Like, it's never about who the player is. It's where you're getting him, what the value is for that player. Where I see some of these guys going late, it's unbelievable. Guys like James White, guys like Theo Riddick, guys that are going to have roles in offenses that are going to use them to the best of their ability. And these guys are going off the board in rounds 14, 13. It's insane. So there's value all over. You just got to know where to find it.
Now,
certain players go ahead.
Another question that I have that I've been tossing around in my own mind. So, this kid from Denver, Royce Freeman.
Love him.
How early is too early?
Put it this
Like
way.
if he's there with my
it's funny. It's funny that we're talking about this. So last night, I'm in my money league. I'm picking 9, number 9. So this is a league where all those guys that I went through before, they're going to be available. We do keepers, but you get to keep one guy, and it's nobody that was drafted in the first 3 rounds. So whoever was drafted last year in the first 3 rounds, you can't keep. The top 30 guys are always available. So there's going to be some interesting guys at 9, but I ran through some mocks, and I'm targeting Mixon in round 3, and that's probably a round earlier than you would get him. Where I'm getting him, he's usually going somewhere in the mid 4th. I'm willing to reach for him, and I am going for Freeman in the round after that. So I'm looking at scenarios where I'm going to be looking at probably wide receiver in that first round, second round, or I got Josh Gordon as my keeper in round 13. So I'm also seeing where if certain things go in front of me, I may take a Deshaun Watson at 9 or an Aaron Rodgers at 9, couple him with a wide receiver with the goal of getting a Mixon and a Freeman on the backside of the draft in round 3 and 4. I love Mixon and I love Freeman this year. Love them. The other guy I love is Dalvin Cook, but I don't see there's any way that unless shit completely hits the fan coming around in round 2, and there's guys it goes according to, I may reach for Dalvin Cook, but I got him somewhere right in that 15 to 20 range, Dalvin Cook, but I'm high on him. I like him. I think he's a really good player. Is he available or is he not available? He would have been in that list.
Yeah, no, Dalvin Cook is kept.
Yeah, he's kept. Jesus, my God, everybody's kept. The draft can take like 4 seconds.
A guy tweeted Dan Dugan saying, "Think the Giants could." It's pretty funny. Think the Giants should trade for DRC.
No,
that's pretty funny. He was being sarcastic.
This is how I'm going to answer that question. This is what I'll say. Antrell Roll was at practice today. I'd sooner give Antrell Rolls a pass than bring DRC back.
Justin, I got a fantasy question for you, and then I may have to call it a night. It's already 11:30, but
yeah,
I got one to throw past you. I just want to make sure.
Sure.
Let me see your guys' thoughts on this, right? So I have 3 options right now. Great, fuck it. All right, forget it. Don't worry about it. I have 3 options right now for my keeper.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident I'm making the right decision, but here are my options. I have Adam Thielen, who I took in round 6 last year. I would have to take him in round 4, pretty much where he's going, 3rd, 4th round, somewhere around there, right?
I feel like you could do better.
Alvin Kamara, I can keep him, but I would have to take him with my number 9. So
9 overall?
I would have to take him at 9 because here's how my league works. If you've drafted the guy last year, then you get a 2-round knock on where you took him. So if I took a guy in round 6, I get him in round 4. If I took a guy in round 15, I get him in round 13. If you picked a player up and acquired that player through free agency, then you get him, you can keep him, but it costs you where his value is that season. So being Kamara is a top 10 pick, I would have to take Kamara with my first pick. So the way I'm looking at it is there's a chance that I can still get Kamara there at 9 if things fall that way. I got Josh Gordon in round 13. That's the no-brainer, right? I love Kamara this year.
How many
I'm willing to risk it.
Yeah,
10.
but isn't that gonna suck not being able to make it like a new first round pick?
Well, that's why. That's the other thing. Is like I don't want to go in, and if I lock in Kamara at 9, then my first round pick is locked. Like I can't do anything or fly by the seat of my pants or see how the board goes. Like I don't have a pick till round 2. I don't want to do that. So I may just go Gordon and open up my whole draft to say, all right, well, I'll take a flyer on Gordon late, great value in 13, and just pile up players just in case, if you get something out of Gordon and he ends up being what Gordon is,
yeah,
you hit pay dirt.
It's not like he's touched by the hand of God.
Well, there's only a certain amount of people who are touched by the hand of God.
Play the glorious drop.
Play the drop.
Which one
right,
you want?
I mean, here's the deal. For me, so I'm assuming it's a PPR.
Yes. Half point.
Boys are serious.
Half point PPR. We don't fuck around.
It's a half.
I got guys right now trying to trade up and trade back in the draft. We trade draft picks. I had a trade come through the other day. It was like I just made a trade. We swapped firsts, thirds, seconds, fourths, sixths, and eighths. I was like, all right, great, phenomenal. Put it through.
I'll just slip it in.
Go in, switch the picks around, and it's all good.
So, here's my question: how many team leagues?
10.
10, and you're picking at 9. And if you pick Kamara, that's 9. I mean, here's the thing. I think that I have Kamara ranked.
I got Kamara ahead of Barkley.
That's right about where he is for my rankings. He's like the 6th running back for me, but I would put some wide receivers ahead of him in terms of total value. Like I would
that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that my plan is just that, Justin. Is that these guys are going to go. That they're going to go Bell, Gurley, in any order. Zeke, DJ. Take those guys off the board in AB. Right. So those guys are gone. Right. So that leaves me pick 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Only 3 picks until they get to me. So
and your league is probably
3 players.
Your league is probably filled with Giants fans.
Well, there's a couple of Giant fans, but they don't draft like that. Like my league is these guys know what they're doing. Like they're not gonna just jump unless there's a reason to jump. That being said, I do think that the names Barkley and Beckham are very attractive when it comes to fantasy football. Yeah, right. So I think that but if you look at the names, there's only so many names there, right? So if you start naming the names after those 5, you get Barkley, Beckham, DeAndre Hopkins, Kamara. The way I look at it is, go ahead.
When do you have to let them know that you're going to keep your players? Is it that day of the draft?
August 31st by 8 p.m. is the deadline. 2 days before the draft is September 2nd at 9 p.m.
Right.
Because they get me the keepers by 8 p.m. on Friday night.
Right.
I make sure I go in on Saturday and get everything straight with the draft and everything, and then on Sunday we draft.
See, I think that my issue would be not having that number 1 pick. You put in, like you saying that you're going to keep Kamara at 9, which is probably where he's going to go, around that area.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, so if there's a chance I get him there anyway.
Right, and then there's an opportunity that someone you think better value might fall to you or something like that.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? So if it goes like this, right? So if I was to have Kamara locked in at 9, that means somebody else is going to take Josh Gordon in rounds 3, 4, or 5. So I get him in 13. Now, if you look at it and we take those top 5 names off the board, you get to 6, 7, and 8. If it goes Beckham, Barkley, Hopkins, I get Kamara. If it goes Barkley, Kamara, Hopkins, I get Beckham. If it goes, you know what I'm saying? So I think Barkley's definitely going to be in there. I think there's a chance that Hopkins will definitely be in one of those picks. So it's going to come down to Beckham or Kamara. So I could walk away with Kamara and still have Gordon locked up, and I don't have to worry about using it as my keeper.
I'm gonna read some names for you. These are names that are. I'm looking at a total value list in terms of draft position. Okay.
Okay.
These are players. These are the. So you'll have 9 and 11, correct? Or no, 9
I'm at
and
9 and 11. 12.
9 and 12. All right. So I'm going to read you the names that are direct. I'll read you 7 names directly underneath Alvin Kamara.
Where's he ranked?
The question that you have to ask yourself is, if you got this player instead of Alvin Kamara at 9, and then you got one of these players at 11, would you be okay?
Go ahead.
Saquon. So, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley.
Uh-huh.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Uh-huh.
Melvin Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Fournette. Kareem Hunt.
He's kept. I can't. Somebody's keeping Hunt.
Okay, so eliminate Kareem Hunt, so I'll read you the next 2. I'll read you the next 3. Julio Jones.
Uh-huh.
Michael Thomas.
Uh-huh.
Dalvin Cook.
Well, that's the conundrum I'm in. Because I am confident that Hopkins is going to be gone, Barkley's going to be gone, and Beckham's going to be gone. So it's leaving me with a list of names. And I also know who's picking right behind me, who has the double pick. And if Julio and Michael Thomas are on the board, they're gone. He won't let them pass. So so that's what I'm saying, is that even though in my certain rankings I don't have Dalvin Cook anywhere between above 15. I got him below 15. I got everywhere him above. But I like him so much, and if you're going to tell me he's going to go 6 picks behind me, why the fuck am I going to let him drop if it's only 6 picks? I'm going to just take Cook on the flip.
So you take Cook at 12.
And I walk away with.
No, why wouldn't it be 12?
10, 11 go to it snakes.
You have the 9th pick though, right? 9, 10.
I have 9. My cousin has 10 and 11, and then it comes back to me at 12.
He does the double pick. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, he goes. He gets the bang bang.
So
that's what we call it, the bang bang.
Yeah. I forgot that. I forgot that they slipped that in.
Yeah.
So
I'll just slip it in.
9.
Why didn't it work?
Slip it in.
So
I'll just slip it in.
You're saying if Julio Jones and Michael Thomas are available, your cousin is taking them?
I would, yes. I know my cousin like the back. I would be shocked if he didn't. And if he went another way, then it leaves me. Then it leaves me at 9. Then it leaves me one of those guys on the flip, and then I would probably go. Oh man, I'll tell you the truth. If I ended up with the receiver with the first pick, I would probably go with Cook.
What's with you, Odell?
I would probably go with Cook on the back end. If I ended up with Kamara, the running back, on the front end, I might be tempted to go with one of those wide receivers if my cousin went another way, and if not, I would be fine with going with Kamara and Cook.
Congratulations. Here's the question that I have for you.
That's
Here's the question that I have for you. So say we know who the top 5 picks are going to be, right?
Yep.
Top 5 picks are going to be Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, Zeke, David Johnson, and Antonio Brown in some order.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Odell and Saquon both go before you pick at 9.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 7 players that are gone, which means that there's only one of the above. There's only one of these players that's going to be taken before you pick at 9.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara, Melvin Gordon, Leonard
Hopkins.
Fournette, Julio Jones, and Hopkins. Those are your 5 players, and you can't tell me that Alvin Kamara is guaranteed to be noticeably better than any one of those guys. I mean, I think he's going to have a good year, but the way that I value keepers is I want value in terms of where I'm keeping him at.
Exactly.
And in the first round, I mean, all those guys that I listed, I mean, if I had to give up the opportunity to draft any one of those guys to get Alvin Kamara, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm the same way with you, and I like Kamara. I mean, when I look, especially in my league is a league with 40-plus plays and bonuses. With that being said, I look at a guy like Kamara in that offense, and he had limited touches last year and led the league in big plays per touch. So in my league, he has certain value. Like there are certain guys where, like a Tyreek Hill is a lot more valuable in my league because if you get a big play, you get a 40-yard bonus, and there's other big things that come along with it. It's a one-play thing where a guy can end up having a really good game. So having a home run hitter like that is always beneficial. I think
2-minute warning.
I think Kamara's going to have a great year. I think Ingram comes back and he is the backseat driver to Alvin Kamara. I think they're going to move him around. They're going to get him the ball. I'm high on him. I think in my league, I think he's going to be sitting there for me at 9. I think that's good value for him, and it really just depends on what wide receivers. Like I could see somebody in my league taking Julio at 6 or 7, and then one of those other guys dropping. So it's crazy. It's right, Marco.
I didn't say anything. What about quarterbacks?
All right, Jets. Quarterbacks in my league are huge, man. You get 300-yard bonus, 350-yard bonus, 400-yard bonus, 40-yard plays are big, 40-yard touchdowns are bigger. So, you want a guy that can make, that's a weapon. So people in my league will draft quarterbacks a little higher than in other leagues because of the bonuses. We also have 6-point touchdowns for quarterbacks. Like a touchdown is 6 points. We don't fuck around with that.
What about interceptions?
-1.
That's called an interception, jerk off.
And you get a -1.
I haven't played that one in a long time.
That's a good one. That's called an interception, jerk off.
I think this year more than any other for fantasy, I think I'm waiting to go deep for all my quarterbacks because there's just not that much of a point difference between the.
Well, I think that you really have to know wrong. Well, you really have to know what kind of league you're in. Like, it's important that you know the settings and the scorings in your league. Like, if your quarterback's going to get 4 points for a touchdown, then maybe I'm not going in the first, second, or third rounds for a quarterback. Maybe I'm waiting until the 4th or 5th round before Rodgers goes off the board or anybody like that. If you're playing with 6-point touchdowns and 20 yards instead of 25, like some leagues are, unique in their settings. So some are 2-quarterback leagues where, in the first round, you better take a fucking quarterback. So really know your leagues, know your settings, know the scoring system, and draft accordingly to that. But you're right, Justin. In a normal standard league, you're not going to jump on a quarterback. You're going to let one drop to you because you can get a Phillip Rivers in round 14 and be absolutely fine with what he's given you during the course of the season: 4,300 yards, 25 touchdowns, and if you got a beast team to go along with it, you're fine at quarterback.
All right, I think that's where we're going to end it for today. With a little QB wisdom.
That's right.
So what is the
Where was Tim tonight?
Tim was at camp.
Tim is in camp. It's his last week of camp. He starts school, I believe, on Monday. So Tim is away at camp for the next couple of days.
They're giving out I think this is the award week at camp. Most.
Yeah, this is Tim's getting the arts and crafts, I think.
I thought he was getting the Spirit Award.
And best sharer. I heard he's getting best sharer as well. He's a good sharer, Tim.
That's all. My man. Pots and pans.
Love you guys. Bleed Big Blue.
All right, everyone. We will catch you later on in the week. Later.